Good morning, family. We have somebody out here mowing all of our fields today, or as they call it around here, bushhogging. They really needed it. We could not get the cows and the sheep. Well, we didn't get them as early as we wanted, and we just couldn't get them moved around these pastures fast enough to really knock back some of the weeds. So what we're doing is we're just having him come out, basically do a clean slate on almost all of the pastures. There'll still be enough forage that everybody can graze, and then it'll all grow back real nice, and we'll get rid of a lot of these weeds, all of this ironweed and stuff. The sheep do eat this, so I'm not too worried about it in their pastures, but the cows don't like it, and we've got some other weeds that, you know, we don't want coming up. The cows just don't eat it when there's that many weeds. So he's gonna bush hog all the front pastures today, and then tomorrow he's gonna hit the back pastures. And he said that he can get to all those hillsides, which is totally awesome. I'm glad that he can be able to do that, because I think our plan is to graze the cows back there. We've kind of changed up what our plan is as far as where we're gonna graze everybody. We decided that we need to try and hay as much as possible. One, for hay for over the winter. Two, maybe we can sell some of it. We've got all this really good ground. There's no reason why we shouldn't hay it. So what we need to do is run the animals in pastures that we can't hay. So we're gonna have to change up kind of all of our grazing plan and what we had intended to do in order to be able to hay, you know, those pastures that are able to. So we've got that going on today. We've got to do regular chores today. I need to move sheep. The sheep paddock is ready to move, and oh, we've got to finish our inventory so we can get our online store live, because we need to start selling some of this chicken. So let's get to work. Let's get this stuff done so we can get into the freezer.
The birds getting all the bugs. Can you like pull around?
Get it, Pickle, bring it up. There you go.
Hold two hands. Good.
Go slow, Elle, go slow. Gotta wait till she's on it, Elle. Pretty girl. Good morning. Good morning. Man, sometimes the animals on this farm And this isn't even like a livestock. This is like a cat, like a domesticated animal. See Buddy up there in the hayloft? I'm pretty sure he's stuck. Sammy, what did you do? And we don't have the ladder for the hayloft. The previous owners, I guess they took it with them. There was a hayloft up here, or there was a ladder when we toured the property, and it's gone now. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they took it with them. So we're gonna have to get a big ladder. I'm gonna give him a little while and see if he can figure it out, but Simba. Oh, Simba. What a pain. So it's gonna be a little while before we can put the cows out. What we decided to do, I think I talked about it in another video, that we're having issues getting Annabelle out to the paddock and back. So I think what we're going to do, and I don't see any reason why this is going to be a problem. I know a lot of people milk in the field and that kind of stuff. We are actually going to put her and Oakley out in a paddock, and we're going to leave them. We're not going to bring them back and forth to the barn. In the winter time, when we don't want them out in the field, we can bring them back up to the barnyard and go from there. But for right now, I think we are just going to put them out in paddocks and just leave them out in the paddock and then move them from paddock to paddock instead of trying to go back and forth. So at least until she gets used to that movement and there isn't any issues, because it's just too much of a pain in the butt to get her from the barn out to the paddock. So that's the plan, but it's going to be a little while before we can put her out there. We just had them bush hog this whole field that I'm going to put them in first. I want to give it a week or so just to kind of grow a little bit. We could put them out there now. There is still enough forage, but I just want to give it a little bit of a time to rest. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to close off this side of the barn and give it a couple of days to grow. We've got some really good rains the past couple days, and we've got some sunshine coming, and I think this is gonna grow really well over the next 4 or 5 days. And then we can let them out here for a couple of days and let the other side grow and just kind of play that game until this paddock is ready for them to move to. So I'm gonna go close that gate real quick, and then I gotta move the bunnies, and then it's sheep time. So they still have this whole other side of the barn paddocks that they can go to right here, this side. There's still a bunch of grass in there that they haven't eaten yet. The grass just grows so stinking fast that they can't get through it. I also have this paddock back here that I could move them to if I wanted to. It's definitely grown up. It's definitely ready. It's been a while since the cows were on that, so I could put them back there if I wanted to for a little bit. But basically, she just can't be free. She can't cross any areas that are free from fencing because she just doesn't want to cross the electric fence line. So it's just a problem we're going to have to deal with. She's never been exposed to electric fence, and yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. So just a quick little update on all of the chickens and where everybody is at. Right now we took about 400 birds. It ended up being like 350 to the processor over the last 2 weeks. They're now in the freezer. We've got a batch of 125. It was supposed to be 200, but that was the batch that we lost a whole bunch of birds out in the one schooner. We have both brooders are full. This batch is 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old. This batch is 3 weeks old. There's 200 in here. This batch is 2 weeks old, well, almost 2 weeks old, and there's 200 in there. So these guys will go out to the schooner in about a week and a half. And then these guys have a couple more weeks, and then we'll have a new batch coming. And then there are what we're calling the fancy chickens. So these are the chickens that are going to be in the coop that is out in the front that will be near our house garden. So I think I talked about it in another video, sort of my vision for that area. We're gonna have a coop with a run, and then we'll have the high tunnel that we can grow in during the summer. During the winter, we can put the chickens, these chickens, not like our production chickens, but these chickens, and the rabbits in the high tunnel during the winter, collect their manure and do all that sort of thing. And it's just gonna be a real nice area because it's right when you pull up in our driveway, and I just want it to look real nice. I don't want it to look like, I don't know. I just want to have a nice front yard with gardens and pretty flowers and all the things that I've always wanted. And this is a beautiful space, and I have that opportunity to do it. And darn it, I'm going to. So these are the fancy chickens that we got the other day, and they are doing real good. There's some Samanis in here. There's a Polish with a little tuft on its head. These are Brahmas. They've got the furry feet. And we've got some, what else do we have? Some Aracanas and also some mosaics. I can't remember what breed the mosaics are, something, I don't know. Can't remember. Mosaics is what they were. So they're going to be real pretty, and I can't wait to see them, you know, when they get all feathered out and everything, and just, you know, they're just going to be interesting to look at, which is really kind of what I want for that front flock. So when you drive up, there's going to be some real pretty birds there for, you know, for aesthetically pleasing things. So, all right, well, it is actually almost lunchtime and nap time. So we are going to go put the girls down for a nap, and then we can get going on the sheep. Well, that's good to see. Look who made it down. Good job, buddy. We didn't have to rescue him after all. I also forgot to mention that we are actually taking Ivory to the vet today for a spay. We figure it's kind of the responsible thing to do. We're not into breeding. She's 2 years old, over 2 years old, so it's not that she's too young to do it or anything, and we're just not going to be breeding. So we do have male dogs here and in the neighborhood that are intact. We don't want to take any chances, you know, with anything. So we're taking her, so she will be out of commission for the next few days, week or so, but we've got a place all set up for her. It's going to be real nice, and she'll be good, and then we won't have to worry about it. So say bye-bye, Ivory. She's not happy about it. Poor thing. So like I said, we're changing up our grazing plan. We are getting the sheep into areas that we can't mow, and honestly into more brushy areas. There's no reason that they can't. They like the weeds. I mean, there's no reason that they can't be in areas that are similar to where the goats are. Maybe a little bit more graze, a little bit more grass, but they certainly do, they do like the weeds. So what I'm doing is we have them over here, right here. It's an area that can be hayed, or at least, you know, mowed, or we could put the pigs there, but it can probably be hayed. So I'm creating a run from this side all the way across. This is actually going across where we had the pigs to the pond, and we're going to work them through the pond and then down. There's a whole like tree line that they can go down, and then there's a whole like hillside kind of before we get to our other creek that they can graze on that we can't hay or really get to with the mower or whatever. So they're gonna go down that tree line, through the pond, down that tree line, and then down, and then come back up this tree line. And by the time we get to the other tree line, we should be able to move them back over again. So they're just going to kind of make a circle up these two tree lines and around the pond, and I think that will work out nicely for them. So what I'm doing, I'm just creating this lane. You can see it back here, and I'm going to move them from that paddock to the other. I'm going to get some grain, like I talked about in the other video. Grain is a great motivator to get them going, and I'll probably have Ella. Ryan has taken Ivory into town and has a couple other errands to run, but I need to get these sheep moved because the Dennis, the guy that's mowing for us, that's bush hogging for us, he wants to get this, well, I want him to get this spot that the sheep were at and just knock down some of these weeds and stuff that that the sheep missed. So you can see he's already mowed out here, and it's beautiful. It looks so nice compared to this area that the sheep were in. Big difference, right? So yeah, so this is gonna be real nice. I'm really excited about you know, how much it's gonna grow. We've got some rain and then some warm days coming up, so this grass is gonna grow like crazy. It's really a mind shift to get out of. I need to change my mindset about cutting this grass, because in my mind and in all of my experience, grass is very delicate. And when I say grass, I mean pastures and fields and everything that's coming up. Grass is pretty delicate and we really got to work to get it to grow, but not here. It just grows and we just have to keep cutting it. So I need to stop thinking about like, oh, I'm wasting this or we're going to do some damage if we mow this, because it actually needs to be done and we're doing damage by not mowing it. So the grass will come back a couple weeks and this is going to be shooting up and ready for either grazing or haying or whatever we're going to do. So I wanted to give you guys kind of a before of what this looks like in here. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know how well they're gonna take this down. I feel like they're gonna do a good job, and I'll show you across in just a second. Come on, sheep. Come on, sheep. Come on, sheep. Come on, sheep. Yep, we're almost there. Come on, sheep. You're doing just fine. Come on, sheep. Come on, sheep. Come on, sheep. Is that everybody?
But there's one right there.
That's okay. They're perfect. Look, they're all in the pond. Look how happy they are. They're like, hey, thanks. You did awesome, Sauce Sister.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't touch that.
What is it?
I don't know. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. I've got some cows to put away and some goats to put away, and then we are done. So have a great evening. Thanks for following along with us, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Put the side. He's eating it.
Shh.
Oh, he made it. He made it.
He's liking that.
I tried it, Mommy. I tried it.
It's all right. We'll get all the flies.
Those guys. And then...